Our theme for the next 20 minutes perhaps will be music. Idefi is about music. And thanks for warming us up over there. It's good to get going this morning. I'm excited about this company because I think it has a lot of wind at its back. You know, when I look at businesses to create or invest, I look for a few things, and these are not in their presentations, so I'm not taking any of their thunder. But they're getting me excited about this business. You know, a lot of startups, they have to force their way into the market, somewhat disruptively, to make a market for themselves. It's my contention after spending 100 days with these fellows and ladies that the wind is going to push them right out with momentum into the marketplace and be welcomed. And here's the 3 reasons why. First of all, when we look at successes that have used the internet, when they connect 2 parties, they have empowered a group of people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to work among themselves to make a better industry. So let's look at a few examples. What Monster.com did to connect job seekers and employers. What Odesk and Elance did to connect talent with needs. What eBay stores did to connect entrepreneurs to end customers. Every time someone built a platform that let people do these things without any intrusion, any barriers, they seem to have opened up an industry. So in this case with Idefi, the 2 parties will be the artists and their fans. And they'll tell you how that's going to happen. But it seems to me that that is one positive element behind their momentum. The second thing is, I've never met a more motivated and hard-headed and resilient person than an artist. In terms of, they never quit. They learn this skill and this craft for a lifetime. From whenever they finish their last lesson to whenever they put down that instrument or the microphone. That's a lifetime. They will stay at this, which means the market that Idefi is pursuing is a lifelong market. It exists today, it'll exist 100 years from now, and the artists, what's in their heart, will never go away. So we have a market that's highly motivated, and people will never stop loving music, and I think we can assume that. So we have a highly motivated market that is not a fad and not on a trend. And the third thing is that whenever we have an empowered group and we're trying to get them to change, we need evolution to help us out. Now let's look at what's happened for you as consumers, all of us, for music. As consumers, we've had iTunes come about. We've got ownership of individual songs. Then we have Rhapsody, where I got into song rental. And then we have Pandora, which I create for free, my own radio channels with all the different music DNA that I can select. The evolution for the consumer in music has already happened. And we're probably all enjoying it right now as consumers. But it's interesting to me, as I learned from this team, that the evolution for the artist has not yet happened. That artist and those very talented people, the bands, the songwriters, it's their turn. And with that, I want to bring you Idefi.
My name is Brady Deaton. I'm the CEO of Idefi Music, and we are a scalable, low overhead, and low capital company. And we'd like to talk to you about this opportunity. This is Idefi.
invest money into the artist that they haven't earned in revenue to begin with. On average, in the United States, there are 3 artists that get signed to a major label that actually sell enough records that they get paid royalties. This is not our target market. These guys are happy. These are the ones that you see playing the Super Bowl. This is Lady Gaga. This is Justin Bieber. They're selling millions of albums every year. But behind them, there are 40 other artists that get signed every year that don't make any revenue at all.
So you may ask, how can this happen? It's because the traditional record label model is set up to where they front the money and the artist up front in the beginning. And then the artist does not get paid until that money is paid back in full. They usually front around $300,000. The artist has to sell around 200,000 records or $2 million in revenue before the artist actually makes any money at all. Why would anyone want to do this? Why would any artist want to get signed to a record label? It's because a record label can do for them what they can't do on their own. They can get their music into stores. They can get their songs on the radio. They can promote them. They can get them on spots on Jay Leno. They can do national advertisements with them. They can do things, again, that the artists can't do on their own. So they're willing to make that sacrifice in hopes that they're one of those 3. They think that they are going to be one of the 3 that really make it and really go over the top. The Idefi model is different. We allow the artist to build a profile on the site, upload their music. We give them tools to interact with their fans, to communicate, and it's up to them to sell. It's up to them to market to their fans and build a fan base and get it going. But each time they make a sale, they not only get paid, they also earn rewards points. The rewards points add up, and we do more and more for them of what a traditional record label would do. Again, things that they can't do on their own. We give the artists tools like free digital distribution. We put them into iTunes, Amazon, eMusic. We give them ways to contact their fans, social integration, tools to do email blasts and things like that. We have a new platform that's coming out in a couple of weeks called Idefi Live, and that's actually, Idefi Live is a streaming platform the artists can set up on a laptop at one of their shows, sell tickets to their show to anybody in the world, and make money on it. And of course, they make rewards points too, which means we do more and more for them. We'll actually make CDs for them, distribute them to all the stores and get them out there and get them on the radio, which is very important. So here's a look at how these rewards work. Let's say an artist sells 1,000 downloads. Now, if we're talking albums, 10 songs per album, that's about 100 CDs. So that gives them digital distribution. This is all going to be automated. We put them into Pandora, iTunes. They make money on a stream. They make it sell on iTunes. They not only get money, they also get those rewards points. Beyond that, we at 12,500, we actually make their CD for them and use distributors to put it into all the stores. We've got a great partners in this regard in Copycats Media that'll make our CDs. The artists will sit down with them, work out all the artwork for the album, and package it. And we actually pay the bill. And then we work with Alliance Entertainment, who is the #1 distributor in the United States, #4 in the world, to get it into stores. These are stores like Best Buy, Sears, you know, the few that are out there that are still really carrying physical media, and of course the mom and pop stores as well. Beyond that, we'll actually start doing radio and press for them, work their songs to radio, get them some ads, get them some write-ups. We'll actually pay for their music videos when they get up to this point. And then beyond that, we'll actually pay for them to professionally record their next album. So the Idefi model is scalable, which we talked about in the beginning, because it grows with the artist. We have a low overhead because we use these other partners to kind of farm everything out, and it grows as we grow. And we have low capital. We can get started with not much money because, again, we're utilizing these partners to get out there. We've already got the full site launched last week on November the 1st, so we're real excited about that, and we just came out of beta. So what Idefi does is it brings together the best of the new online digital platform, digital sales, and combines it with what a traditional record label would do. And we give the artist a chance to earn their way into that with rewards. The thing is, not everyone is going to earn these rewards. In fact, when you look at the big percentage, it's probably going to be very few. Not everybody is a Justin Bieber or Lady Gaga, but they're all going to get a shot. So what that means is Idefi is a long tail model, meaning that we're going to make more money off the artists that don't hit it big, that don't go out there and hit a home run every time. So imagine we have 10,000 artists on Idefi, and they sell 1,000 downloads each. Now 1,000 downloads, we talked about a little bit ago, that's equivalent of 100 CDs. Now they can sell that to their grandma, their aunt, their uncle, girlfriends, whoever. That equates to $10 million in revenue, and we haven't reinvested a dime back into the artist. Our go-to-market strategy is a little bit unique. We want to really prime the pump. We need to find a way to prove to the artist that we can do what we say, that we're legit, that we can really pull through with all the things that we're saying we can do in our rewards levels. And also show them that there are artists that are established, they're excited about this. And that's where the launch artists come in. We want to work with specific launch artists. These are artists that, if we remember the scale before, these are the guys in the 40 that were on the big labels but never made enough money. These are bands like Pillar. And we're going to get them out there first, promote their albums. We're going to get some good revenue off the sales, but we're going to get the independents and the other guys excited. They're going to say, these guys are doing it. Rob Beckley from Pillar's on the radio saying Idefi Music's the next big thing. That goes a lot further than some guy named Brady in Tulsa, Oklahoma talking about it. We're also going to do PR and advertising, and that we'll sponsor different events around, like South by Southwest, have a stage, put the artist on it. So what we've got to do is really prove what we can deliver. And again, that goes into putting these launch artists out there, getting them into the magazines, getting them on the radio, and we want to prove that we're a viable alternative to the current record label system. Since our launch of the beta site in April, we've added over 202 artists. That's 5 months, and that is word of mouth alone. We haven't been doing any advertising. We've just been word of mouth, the other artists talking to other artists, and people getting excited and signing up. We've already started the process of working with launch artists, in that Rob Beckley, who's the lead singer of Pillar, I think we talked about him a little bit earlier, sold 1 million albums, $0 in sales, released his first single, which is Value in My Heart. We were able to promote that to radio. It reached number 24 on the Billboard charts. It stayed in the top 30 for 9 weeks. The exciting thing about this is Rob went back and talked to the band Pillar, which they had pretty well given up on doing anything because they weren't making any money. They all had families. The only way they could make money was by being on the road. So they went back. They're excited about Idefi, and they've decided to reunite and release their next album on Idefi Music. Already putting together a summer tour, going out and promoting the album. Now, their last album sold over 90,000 units. That's $900,000 in revenue. If they had sold that album on Idefi Music, they'd have made $450,000. Of course, we'd have made $450,000. 450 is a lot better number than 0. I think Rob and the guys are probably a lot happier about that. So our competition comes really from 2 fronts. It's from the traditional record labels, which we talked about. Their model, the way they work, is that they limit the artists. They get to pick and choose, and they limit what the artists can do, and then they keep most of the money. They have a model that works for them. Anytime you've got a guy that sells 46 million albums and you don't have to pay that guy a dime, that's pretty good. Or $46 million worth of revenue and you don't have to pay him a dime, sorry. Our other competition comes from online services, iTunes. Everybody's familiar with iTunes. Everybody buys their music through iTunes, it seems. So rather than viewing them as competitors, we're actually going to work with them. We will distribute the artists into iTunes, eMusic, the streaming sites like Pandora. And then whenever they make revenue, the artist gets paid. But the reason they would want to go through Idefi instead of on their own is because they'll also earn those rewards points, which means we're going to be promoting them. We're going to be helping them sell more. Other competitors like Reverb Nation, Bandcamp, they make their money off of selling tools, allowing the artists to do email blasts and things for X amount of dollars. That's kind of their thing. That's the way they work. My name is Brady. I've got over 15 years in the music business, and the way I got into this is that actually started a record label, went out and signed a band, invested a lot of money into them, and then they just called it quits. And I was left holding the bag, so to speak. And so that was really the way that this model was developed, in that I wondered, how could I create a model that we're not investing in the artist, and if the artist just quits and goes back to school or gets arrested, then we're safe, we're covered. We're not at risk on that. If you look at this slide, you can see we have a great team. We've got the money guys are there, we've got the sales, we've got the technical guy, Steven Cesar. He is from, he's the CEO of TicketSage. So we've got an experienced team that is excited about Idefi Music. Now I'm going to introduce you to another aspect of our team, which is artist development. These are guys that we have working on our side that have been through the business. You know, Butch Stone, you can take a look at his resume right there, pretty impressive. These are guys that are out there right now looking for and talking to launch artists that want to work with us in the future, trying to sell them on the idea right at the moment. Donnie Frizzell is another guy, great resume, great background. Again, he's out there talking to these people. These guys will also in the future work as our artist development team, and they'll actually be an incentive level for the artists. Once they get to that point, they get to work with Butch and Donnie. And that Butch and Donnie will do for them what they've done with Atlantic Records and the big record labels and the big names that you see on the list here. We're seeking $500,000 in funding in exchange for 20% equity. And if you look at this, you'll see a lot of that is the money up front, which is to pre-fund that rewards level, to get those launch artists out there, get some promotion for them, get them in the stores, get people excited. It'll get the other artists excited and get them out there as well to sign up on Idefi. Our revenue projections over the next 5 years look like this. If you look at the red line, those are our launch artists, those are our premier artists. You can see they kind of sustain us through the beginning, and they also serve as a marketing tool for us to get those independents on, and you can see how the ball starts rolling. As you look at this, you can see it's a pretty sharp hockey stick, and if we started with more funding, we could actually move that stick a little bit flatter, move some of the revenues that you see in year 5 more towards the years 2 and 3. Idefi Music is an evolution of the music industry. For years, the record labels have chosen the winners, they've chosen the losers, they've decided who's the haves and who's the have-nots, and the person that has gotten screwed over has been the artist, the person that they should have been protecting in the first place. Idefi Music gives that artist freedom and makes sure that artist has a way to make a sustainable career and to make money. This is an evolution of the music industry. We're real excited about this. Thank you all very much. And we will be in the lobby, and we brought a couple of our launch artists. Rob Beckley from Pillar is actually here with us, and Jimmy Henley. I don't know if anybody ever watched Hee Haw, but he was the guy that was on there like 8 years old and could play any instrument. And his father, James, is here as well, and they'll be happy to talk to you guys. Thanks very much.